morning, class, and welcome to Social Problems, Sociology 5. I wanted to put a little video together just to give you an introduction of who I am. I'm not just a robot on the other side of the computer as you take classes, but rather being active in class, guiding you week by week in all the interesting topics that we are going to cover. So I'm going to combine this as a kind of like a welcome, showing you how to get around the course website, and then a little bit touching on what you're going to be learning in Chapter 1. My goal is to, every week on Monday morning, post, again, a short video pretty much highlighting different themes and topics that we're going to be covering since we are not face-to-face. One of the things you're going to notice is that the discussion board is very important because that is pretty much the bulk of our class where, yes, we're not face-to-face in a traditional norm of a classroom, but we're still able to converse and have a dialogue, right, regarding many different important topics that we will be discussing. Oftentimes I'll have students ask if it's a problem that they have not taken Introduction to Sociology. It's fine. At the beginning in Chapter 1, you're going to notice that we do focus a little bit on theory. You're going to be learning about the fallacies. I'll go over that in a couple of minutes. But, do not feel like you're going to be at a disadvantage because you have not taken Introduction to Sociology. So one thing you're going to notice is that we are taking our course through Etudes. Next semester, we're actually moving on to Canvas. Some of you may already be online on Canvas, but we're actually, for my class, sticking to Etudes. On the left-hand side, you're going to notice that there are different links in little tabs that you select on. On the right-hand side, you're going to see the announcements section as well as the chat room. The chat room is meant to be more of a public forum rather than private. There you can post any types of questions regarding your assignments, regarding your project, that you would like to be answered by one of your peers rather than a private question. If you have a private question regarding your grade, regarding an assignment, etc., email me privately, okay? And you'll find my email listed on the syllabus. On the right-hand side, too, you're going to notice that it's the announcement section. The announcement section is pretty much meant for you to see if there's been any emergencies, if there are any follow-ups to, maybe I posted a wrong question for the assignment, and I have made some changes or something. So please be on the lookout. If you are set up to have the school email account, every time I do post a new announcement, you will get an email. You might have noticed that I did that this morning, actually, pretty much welcoming you to class, telling you how to log into Etudes. Obviously, you know how to log into Etudes because you're able to watch this video, right? On the left-hand side of the menu, you're going to notice that we have our syllabus. Now, your syllabus is the most important piece of information you're going to have this semester. Please make sure you print it out. I have mine printed out already in a folder, already with, highlighted and all, checking off week 1, right? So I literally go week by week. I'm the type of instructor that follows my syllabus meticulously. So you're not going to be seeing me changing and saying like, oh, no, I'll change that to a different due date. Oh, no, like let's do a different chapter. So again, you'll notice that I go week by week by week according to my syllabus. The majority of the questions that you may have can usually be found in your syllabus. So that's where you're going to find information regarding your textbook, regarding the various assignments you're going to have, how many exams, as well, again, a breakup of week by week when each assignment, when the project, when your midterms and finals are going to be posted. The discussion board, again, very important piece of where you're going to go on a weekly basis. I do have discussion. That is how I give points of participation as if we were in the class. Once you log into the discussion board, it will give you the various questions that we're discussing for the week, as well as in-depth information of exactly what I'm looking for in each discussion. Modules, this is where you're going to be finding your weekly instructions. So here I will be giving follow-up information prior to last week's topics that we covered, pretty much just to round up what we discussed, and then giving you a couple pointers and information regarding this week's topics and themes. as well as, again, any assignments that are coming up, as well as any other information. That's usually where I put in your study guides. I will be posting study guides very soon. My goal is to have them actually by the end of this week. Okay, so either the end of this week or the beginning of next week. The other thing too, I was going to say, for modules, you'll find your PowerPoint presentations there. These are the PowerPoints that I usually go over when I do give my face-to-face classes. I do this because they do correlate with the textbook, but I love to bring in current event, different stories, different things that are happening around us, social media, in terms of relating it back to our course, so it's easier to understand what we're learning. So please make sure that you do review the PowerPoint. Again, the chat room, it is a very public forum. So in case you have any information, you can post there for general questions. If you guys have any questions, again, how I introduce myself in the welcome announcement as well as in the syllabus, I am pretty obsessed with my email. I check it on pretty much an hourly basis. I get text messages every time that I get an email. If you see that I do not respond within 24 hours, that means that it must have not gone through, because that's very unlikely of me not answering at such a fast, at such a slow pace, I should say. The other thing I was going to say was make sure that you keep on top of your schoolwork. When you're taking an online class in an online setting, it can be a little difficult because you think, oh, it's going to be a little more relaxing in the way that, I don't have to go to class. I don't have to put on, everyone, what do we get? The stereotype that I teach in pajamas, right? Right? That's not the case. You have to understand that you have to have more discipline than normal when you are doing an online class, right? Because you work at your own pace. Again, I post my beginning of the week instructions on Monday morning, usually opening up around 8 o'clock or so. Okay, so that's pretty much, again, a general overview of how to get around the course. I'm gonna pop into chapter 1, and again, this is just meant to give you a better understanding of what you're going to be learning throughout the week. So in chapter 1, as we know, is usually the introduction. It's pretty much the foundation of setting up what our course is going to be like for the semester. So objectives, you're going to learn the difference between a personal and a social problem, right? A personal problem would be something to, I have no job, right? So that's a personal problem. I have no job because I haven't found one. Now, it becomes personal, right, when I haven't found a job and I don't have a job because I have not applied, right? You can't have a job if you don't apply, right? Now, what's the difference then when it becomes a social problem, right? Social problem are behaviors or conditions that are caused by social factors external to individuals that detract from the quality of life. So social problem would be that I'm not the only one that cannot find a job, but now the entire city of Salinas, or many people in Salinas, do not have jobs. Well, now then it's becoming more of a social issue, social problem, rather than just one person's problem of, well, Bob cannot find a job. Susie cannot find a job, right? So many of us struggle with many problems at once. We're going to learn that we live in a different world, right? In family and marriage, I talked about, the 50s and how we think life was just so easy. And, mom's always wearing the pearls and the dad's coming home and being so happy at the end of the day, from work. Social media is totally transformed our lives to a whole different level. Even looking at the Olympics, Gabby Douglas, the gymnast, is being bullied, cyberbullied, because of her hair, because she did not place her hand over her heart. Just 2 days ago, it came out that Ellen DeGeneres was being called a racist because of her picture that she posted with the track gold medalist Bolt, right? And all these different comments of, racism. So you're going to notice that this is a course where on a daily basis, you're going to see sociology to its fullest, right? You're not going to see life the same way you do. I've had many students that tell me at the end of the semester, Miss White, I see our world with a different perspective. It's not what I thought it was as I was growing up, right? So again, keep your eyes open. Anything you watch on TV is going to be very much related to our course. So again, we're going to talk about personal versus social problems. Then we're going to get into pretty much the consequences of problems, right? So what happens when it does become a social problem rather than a personal problem? Then we're going to get into the different major theoretical perspectives in sociology. We have 3 of them: structural functionalism, conflict theory, and symbolic interactionism. So your book, as well as the PowerPoint, is going to break it down a little bit more in terms of what those 3 frameworks are. Again, these are the 3 major important theories that we have in sociology, and we can relate any type of social problem into all 3 different frameworks, right? All these theory-based models. We're going to talk about the multiple levels of social problems. What happens, when it does become a social problem? Is there any social action? Does social change result from it? As we know, social change does occur, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that everyone is going to agree with the change that is occurring, but we do see that, we do progress. Then we're going to get into the 9 fallacies. And these different 9 fallacies, you're going to notice that you will be using this in your discussion board this week, right? So you're going to go through these and, go through them, learn about what the different fallacies are, and then you're going to be pretty much, adapting everyday occurrences, everyday problems to, which fallacy that, belongs to. Let's see. The mass media. That's my favorite one. You guys are going to notice that I am a big fan of social media. Lastly, we're going to end with social research. So how do all these experiments, how do we put all this research together to where we do have, valid points and, we're able to, make sense of all this, right, around us. So we do have 4 different types of survey research, and you guys are going to be learning about, data, statistical analysis, where you're dealing more with numbers, and then also participant observation, right? This is pretty much called people watching. I always joke around that I get to call myself a professional people watcher because I have my degree with sociology, right? But we're all people watchers, right? From the second we step outside our door, even inside our house, right? You may be walking around and thinking, what on earth is that person wearing? Why on earth is that person wearing? What in the world is that person thinking, right? We're already making conclusions, right, in our minds, in our heads, judging on what that person looks like and why they're doing what they're doing, right? And then in turn, we are then able to reflect and then put on some type of judgment, whether that is good or that is bad, right? So you're now all sociologists in the making and in the training. Again, if you have any questions regarding the course, please email me. I'm here to help you guys out. I hope you enjoy the course. It is a very interesting course because, again, we're in a very exciting point of our lives in this presidential election. We are going to be in the primeness of, you figure we're going to be electing a new president as we're taking this course. So, again, all of these different issues that are going to arise and that we're going to be able to talk about in class. So, again, welcome aboard. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.